Dehydrated blueberries. You can do them at home yourself, and we're going to get it done using the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL. You can basically, dehydrate at home. It's not freeze dried, but dehydration can get pretty close to freeze dried, so you can use dehydrated blueberries and anything that you need dehydrated stuff in, and sometimes stuff that you might need freeze dried in, you can use them. So dehydration has a little bit more moisture by just a small amount more than freeze drying, but all the same turns out real good. And we're going to see how the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL does with that. And so today I'm going to get started with those dehydrated blueberries, show you how it's done. And this takes really a long time because the blueberries have a lot of moisture, So we're going to start today and we'll continue with this process, and we're going to go with that right now. So what I have here are a bunch of blueberries, I don't know how many or how much, that I've spread across a crisper tray. And basically I rinsed these off and then I dried them real good. And that takes some time to do, but put them on the crisper tray here and kind of put them into the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL. With blueberries, unlike with strawberries or bananas, you can't slice these so that they dehydrate quicker or easier. You got to dehydrate them whole, and that's why this particular dehydration is going to be a super big test for this cooker, because it's got to dehydrate for a long time at a really low temp. So putting them up here on the dehydrate level, which is the highest rack holder you can use in here, and gonna make sure I slide that all the way back to the back and close it up. Now I've seen in one of the recipes that are provided on the website, and I'll include a link to that, but for dehydrating blueberries, the recommendation is to take things over to dehydrate and have it at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which we are at, and to set the timeout to 20 hours. Yes, 20 hours. So almost a literal day. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit start with that. And we'll let that run, and we'll come back and have a look at it sometime way later, like 20 hours from now or so. Don't know, but I'll bring you back. And we're coming into the final seconds of what has been 20 hours, yes, 20 full hours of dehydration. And I will say that the cooker has been very quiet, never got loud at all during this entire 20 hours, and that's really good when you got to run this thing for like 20 hours. It never gotten really loud. And for the 20 hours, I didn't move the crisper tray. I didn't pull it out to spin it or anything like that. I just kind of let things go to see what would happen here. And most of the time, it was like overnight while I was asleep anyway. So I had to kind of get my head around allowing a cooker to run while I'm sleeping, but it was okay. And since it's only running at 120 degrees, never made things too hot. And so things have been pretty good to go, but we'll see what the final product is right now. And so it's done. And so at 120 degrees, it's not that hot. You can almost pretty much touch the crisper the crisper tray. So there's our finished blueberries after 20 hours. And if you're wondering, this is the longest dehydration that I've tried before. 20 hours is a lot of time. So this is one on the front. This one still feels like it has some moisture in it. It's not really dried out. I'm going to try one in the back. This one in the back, although drier in the back, it's still got a good bit of moisture in there. I mean, dehydration's not freeze drying, but all the same, these are still not very dry, or not very dried out. This one kind of dried out. Let's just try one more. Yeah, these are all still a bit wet, and this one here is like not really dried much at all. So could have maybe tried a higher temperature dehydrating them for 20 hours, but all the same wanted to just give it a shot and see what we would get. So if you do dehydration of something large, well, something that's got a lot of moisture and you can't chop it up like blueberries, you may definitely want to try a higher temp, you know, and maybe you'll get them dehydrated in a shorter time or something. But the recommended from the recipe, as I mentioned, says like 120 for 20 hours, and that didn't really, in my opinion, didn't really cut it well enough. You'll have to go with something more to try and get them done, but this gives you an idea of how things do with blueberries. In an earlier video I did dehydrated onions that turned out really good. So we know it can dehydrate and dehydrate well. It's just with certain things, if you got something with a lot of moisture, you may have to go with a more higher temperature to try and get it knocked out. But we'll do kind of a mini taste test of these. All right, so we got our pseudo dehydrated blueberries. Going to try one. This one seems like the most dehydrated. Yeah, it's still got a bit of moisture in there. I mean, more than you really want when you're trying to dehydrate stuff. And try one more. Yeah, these definitely need something higher than 120, and you know, it'll probably go faster, but all the same, something higher to get them done in the XL. The recipe that I do have is from the original size Power Air Fryer 360, or Emeril Power Air Fryer 360. And so, you know, maybe in the smaller one they go a little faster or do a little better at 120. But for this XL model, you know, I put it up top, did 20 whole hours, and that's what we get. So they definitely need something more. And with dehydration, you know, this trial and error, you know, takes over a day or days to try and get things to something that might be to your liking. It's a pretty long process. But all the same, you know, if it's something you want to try, this gives you an idea now that if you got the XL, you definitely want to do something higher than 120, and you know, do what you can to try and keep an eye on things. But anyway, that's what we have for this attempt. And so definitely you can get other recipes, heating instructions and such at superwaveovenrecipes.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at waveovenrecipes. Also in the video description, you can find a link to my referral link for the regular size version of this cooker, to my Amazon shop for other things. Also, if you liked the video or the effort, the attempt, you can give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it 2 thumbs down. That's right, hit thumbs down twice if you didn't like this video. But I hope you give it a thumbs up. And also, share this video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, hit the notification bell, and good eating.